From his role as a part of Biff's gang in multiple Back to the Future movies to Wicked Cal in Titanic, Billy Zane was once a reliably dashing presence on screens both big and small. He doesn't seem to pop up to provide his quirky charm as much anymore, however, and we've wondered what he's been up to recently. Zane has apparently been in over 20 different projects since 2014 and has an army of dedicated fans.
What's it like knowing you've got an army of Zane heads around the world?
Zane Meisters?
I believe they're called Zaniacs, if I'm not mistaken.
So why aren't we actually seeing him? Here's why you don't see Billy Zane much anymore, and how that could change. He's not a leading man. Zane scored a series of hits with supporting appearances in projects like Titanic, Dead Calm, and Charmed. But on the handful of occasions in which he was the lead actor in a big-budget Hollywood movie, he tended to strike out. Take, for example, the flashy 1996 superhero movie The Phantom. Properties from the 1930s might not be the best things to adapt to the big screen, which we're reminded of again and again with films like The Green Hornet and The Lone Ranger and The Shadow, so it's probably not really Zane's fault. The Phantom was intended to be the start of a franchise, but it made just $17 million at the box office. That franchise never materialized, and while the part got James Cameron's attention, it didn't land Zane a leading role. He can't escape Titanic. Anytime Zane makes the rounds to promote a new project, interviewers don't want to talk about it. All they want to discuss is Titanic. Sure, it was once the highest-grossing movie of all time and spent more than a dozen weeks as the #1 movie at the box office, and he, of course, played the villainous, controlling Cal expertly. But it's time to move on, people.
Is it annoying that people love the movie like they do?
Yeah, I hate it. It's awful, really. No, come on.
Curious.
It's the gift that keeps giving. It's such a great honor.
He's made it clear that he's aware of how lucky he was to be in one of the most popular movies of all time, and bears the overwhelming Titanic phenomenon no ill will. But it must be tough to get out of the big boat's shadow. His TV series are flops. In the summer of 2016, Zane had one of his highest-profile gigs in years with the soap Guilt, in which Zane played Stan Guttery, a fashionable, scheming defense lawyer who has to navigate a foreign legal system. The series was canceled after one short season. Zane even played an important role in the Amazon original series Mad Dogs as the quirky, roguish Milo, a part most definitely in his wheelhouse. Even if, spoiler alert, he dies in the first episode. Nevertheless, scarcely a month after its debut, Amazon announced there would be no second season, barring any ghostly Billy Zane appearances or flashbacks from ever happening. Back in 2010, Zane even seemed to have a promising role in ABC's legal drama The Deep End, but that show was killed prematurely also, after just 6 episodes. Zane also had a recurring role in the 2009 ABC sitcom Samantha Who, which was also put out of its misery midway through its second season. To put it simply, Zane's TV efforts have always been doomed, but it's not like he doesn't have other projects going on. They're just a little less visible. He makes his own movies. Zane might not always be in front of the camera, but he stays active in movie making as a principal partner in a production company and content distributor called Radioactive Giant. The company's produced a handful of modest movies, including Killing Winston Jones and the acclaimed documentary Searching for Eddie Running Wolf. And back in the late 90s, Zane produced and starred in a labor of love called I Woke Up Early the Day I Died, a silent film based on an unproduced screenplay left behind by famed bad movie maker Ed Wood. He's busy selling chicken. Nothing catches fast food customers' attention quite like a change in a chain's beloved mascot, and KFC has taken full advantage of this over the last few years. After decades of existing mainly as a kindly, kind of greasy cartoon voiced by Randy Quaid, a real-life Colonel Sanders started appearing in KFC's commercials again, but with a twist. Instead of an anonymous actor playing the part, KFC began using well-known faces like SNL vet Norm Macdonald and stand-up comic Jim Gaffigan. Zane joined the Colonel Sanders lineup in early 2017, slathering himself in gold paint to help roll out the restaurant's line of Georgia Gold chicken.
I put gold on my legs, my thighs, my tenders.
As KFC CMO Kevin Hochman explained, the idea to hire Zane was directly inspired by his past as a villainous rich dude, which is supposed to underscore the idea that anyone can dig into a bag of drive-thru poultry. If it's good enough for Billy Zane, it's good enough for us.
That's good chicken.
Thanks.
It's not the first time Zane has been in a food commercial, though.
Cookies time! Big cookies time! Archway cookies, wouldn't you like some now?
But it's definitely the least embarrassing. The return of Billy Zane. Zane may not be an A-lister headlining giant movies anymore, but that's not his niche anyway. He's more of a character actor, handsome enough to play cads, charismatic villains, and engrossing weirdos. That said, he still continues to work as often as he likes. He's got multiple movies set for release in the future, including the post-apocalyptic sci-fi movie Blue World Order, and the comedy The Last Party with fellow 90s survivors Sharon Stone and Gina Gershon. In short, Zane's got versatility, and it continues to keep him busy, even if we have to try a little harder to see him in action these days. Plus, he's a cool dude.
Listen to your friend Billy Zane. He's a cool dude.
Thanks for watching! Click the looper icon to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Plus, check out all this cool stuff we know you'll love too.